if you follow this very well,
Yes.
the new curriculum of secondary education has changed so much. Education alone is not sufficient to make you achieve your dreams, especially if your dreams are big, like a young child, a young boy or girl. But even still, you need formal education, but you also need these formal skills. For somebody who has gone to school and is also capable of owning up a store or a showroom or something, it stands a better advantage. So this means that you eat the money that will be paid for the proposal development. You also eat the money for the practical skills because it's the one they need. And this makes it very easy. So to me, I feel you need the two. Just imagine somebody who has a degree, for example, in business administration.
Yes.
But he also has a skill in catering. And he has opened up a restaurant.
Yes.
Would he or she do the same way like this person who just finished P7 and is running a restaurant? And they have the same management of this business? Ultimately, no. Because the other one may not be good in record keeping.
Have you ever wondered why people with some degrees struggle to get jobs, while others with practical skills try to build successful lives and successful businesses? Is education enough to build careers of people in this fast-running world of technology? Is formal education only enough? This is Mindset Dog Show, the platform where ideas inspire change and conversations shape the future. I'm your host, Lighton Segabi from Baseline TV, Uganda.
All right. Thank you so much, Lighton, for hosting me here. Greetings to all viewers of Baseline TV. My name is Atwelo Julius. I'm an advocate for change. I'm a gender activist, but like he's telling us today, we are here to discuss how you can prepare yourself to fit in the market of jobs and how you can change your life better.
Yes, today I'm having an interesting topic here, the importance of education and skills development. As we see today, past years in early 1990s, people were not educated and some jobs were there. But these days, people were trying to fight that habit that if you don't get educated, you won't get any job. But we are seeing high levels of educated people, but with no jobs. Is education enough? Is formal education enough? Or education has to go hand in hand with practical skills? These days we see these people with practical skills, for example, carpenters, those people making bricks are the ones successful these days. Is that formal education important these days, or we should leave that?
All right, thank you so much. One, education alone is not sufficient to make you achieve your dreams, especially if your dreams are big, like a young child, a young boy or girl. But even still, I can't say that the vocational skills or practical skills alone are important to bring you a bright future. So ideally, to me, I feel you need the two. You need formal education, but you also need these formal skills. Why? For example, if you look on, you can of course be successful. You can do that skills. You can do vocational training and become successful. And successful here I mean financially successful. But then it will be short of the mental capacity at some level.
Yes.
Why am I saying that you will be short of mental capacity? Because, for example, so many institutions, when they want people to do them services like contracts, they would want somebody who is going to write that proposal.
Yes.
And honestly speaking, if you stop at primary level, you own a big showroom, you own a big school, you would still pay for those services for somebody to do you that
to write for you
that
because
proposal.
you didn't go to school.
Now, for somebody who has gone to school and is also capable of owning up a store or a showroom or something, it stands a better advantage. So this means that you eat the money that would be paid for the proposal development. You also eat the money for the practical skills because it's the one they need. And this makes it very easy. So to me, I feel you need the two. You need the hands-on skill, but you also need the formal training skill.
On that point, this young generation these days are getting over. They don't have energy of going to school. They are saying that even if we go to school, we shall come back again, we work for these people who are not educated, who already started their practical skills hands-on. For example, carpentry, they end up being paid less according to the level of education. We find a degree holder, bachelor's degree at Makerere University, working at a carpentry workshop as a secretary for that carpentry workshop, being paid like 150. Yet he or she was studying from a school of like 800,000, minimum like 800,000. But you find these days, you find schools are very expensive. But students are this young generation is saying that we are going to leave education because it's expensive and jobs are not in Uganda. So they are trying to focus on practical work. Are they right or no?
I would say they are not right, but of course you see in the academic world everything has an advantage, but they are not right in the sense that one, getting knowledge has never been cheap, so you don't expect to get education at a cheap cost. It may be too expensive, fine, but knowledge has never been easy, even if it is at an individual level. If you want to learn, for example, how to be a good motorcycle mechanic, you will need a minimum of 6 months to come at the training. And the tools they are using for you to learn, because when you are learning, remember there is a lot of wastage. You don't know how to use screwdriver, you don't know how to use spanner, you don't know how to use one. So at the end of the day, you'll be breaking these tools that are being given to you for training. So at the end of the day, you find you are spending money in the name of time, meals, and even getting that skill, you will waste a lot. But the moment you learn, it is very important. So what am I saying? For these people who have gone to schools and you have reached the level of attaining a degree, it's better if you have trained to the level of having a degree and you have these skills at the same time, you are a better person than this one who only has one. If you are a good mechanic or a good carpenter or a good caterer alone, it's not sufficient. You may be a very good chef, but if you have the qualification in terms of academic, now you are better. So what am I saying? You need to have the two. And it's always very important if you learn the two together. At a certain age, we can't learn some things very well. For example, that's why you realize that some games they will take you reach 35, no more opportunity to playing football, or the chances is this why your level of flexibility in terms of bones, in terms of muscles has reduced. And the same with our brain. As we grow older, we can't learn some things very well. We can learn them, but we can't them and perfect them to the best. So the best is move the two hand in hand. Learn the formal skills, education, also get this informal skill as in craft hands to help you to be better. Just imagine somebody who has a degree, for example, in business administration.
Yes.
But he also has a skill in catering. And he has opened up a restaurant.
Yes.
Would he or she do the same way like this person who just finished P7 and is running a restaurant? And they have the same management of this business? Absolutely no. Because the other one may not be good in record keeping.
Yes.
The other one may not be good in customer care. And the so-called innovation and creativity, which we learn in so many institutions, is better perfected when you have gone to school.
Yes.
Very many of us have smartphones.
Yes.
But when you have a smartphone, it's a classroom. It's a library. It has everything.
Teach.
You can use your technology by using your phone to learn how can I make, for example, a better chapati.
Yes.
How can I learn to make a better
So you mean this formal sector should go hand in hand with the technology, with this technology of today?
Yeah, of course. The technology is very, very, very important.
Yes.
Why? There are so many people who are owning businesses of late, but when they are running them in their own homes,
yes,
they don't have a store, they don't have a shop where they operate from, but they get their items, buy them from abroad, buy wherever, put them in their own homes, and so where they sell is through social media. on their status, on their TikTok accounts, on Instagram.
Yes.
Is where they are running them from. Now, for you, if you have seen an item, for example, a shoe or a hoofer or whatever, and you are like, I need this, you just make a phone call and the fellow delivers. What am I teaching?
Yes.
Such a fellow is dodging rent. So instead of him sitting every day, he's paying rent, he's paying taxes in the name of managing a business. For him, he has learned the technology. He's using the tech by keeping the items at home and selling them when you need them. That sounds better. That's the better use of the building as far as we see.
Are schools doing enough to prepare young people for the job market? For example, we find very many subjects are being taught at school. Learner gets into class from morning up evening, comes in, chemistry teacher comes in the morning after break. Like you have 3 lessons from morning to break time, yes? Yeah, then from break to lunch, no resting. Is that kind of teaching is that kind of teaching implemented? Should be implemented in Uganda, or should change the kind of teaching and leave some time for practical skills?
All right, thank you so much. Now, if you follow this very well,
yes,
the new curriculum of secondary education has changed so much. And what is it trying to? Yes, it is trying to address the theory bit to merge it with the practical. Surprisingly, you cannot believe a subject like history, where my generation we used to study writing all through, they also have some practical bit.
Yes.
And this tells you how the curriculum is trying to merge theory with practical bit. So I would say schools are doing a bit, though some schools still lack a lot of logistics. They still lack the materials to use to meet that standard. But schools which are being able, they are doing very well. Also, there are some primary schools in Uganda, which I know very well, that are teaching hands-on skills. Primary as low as P5, but somebody is learning, you either choose between weaving or tailoring.
We used to call it handwork.
Now it is no longer general handwork. You must choose either among the tailoring or weaving or carpentry or even cooking, catering.
Yes.
Now, what does this mean? Most of the times, the skills we will do in future when things don't work out according to our aspiration. For example, you have done a degree and things are not working out. You embark to the skills that you got when you were a young boy or a young girl. And this now helps these young children of ours who are in school learning these skills. It helps them better. Secondly, in our day-to-day life, you could be having a job in a bank, for example, but you have also opened up your business. What am I talking about? You have your store,
yes,
and so you have a tailoring workshop,
yes,
or you have your restaurant. And this helps you because you have the skill to manage and that no, this food is poorly cooked. No, this size of the cloth you are cutting does not fit the other. Management becomes easy because you have the skill.
yes.
So what am I saying? Some schools are really doing well. They have met the standard of marking hands-on.
Yes.
Whereas some schools are also trying but still lacking. But I think gradually you may head there because it's very important for any person at a young age to learn those skills, because in the future it helps you even manage your own businesses or even your own. For example, at the end of the day, we are all going to build. If you are a young boy, you will go and build your house. But if you have the measurements of that small skill that you got in primary, somebody cannot cheat you, for example, when he's going to do woodwork, because you already have the skill.
Yes.
That's very important for you. Other than being there ignorant and you know nothing.
There are some individuals like Abraham Rose, they are having suggestions that this education system should be changed. At least a learner goes to school, have some kind of this knowledge. Yes, they study some little subjects like health, science, then the rest practical work. They go to after they study like for 4 hours, then they go for practical work.
Of course, one is right in one way,
yes,
but is also not right in another, in the sense that, of course, at the end of the day, we shall need all these skills.
Yes.
You realize that in a community like any society, everything is very important. Call it practical, call it non-practical. Because, for example, you realize those scripts of music that we see, history that of the places like we have been into, it is good for those guys who have done writing, reading, literature, and all that, which is pure arts. But you realize also that one is very important. Now, the practical skills which they are learning, which are more of engineering, practical, medical, and whatever, it is also very important because at the end of the day, you for a society, you need all these skills merged together so that something positive comes out. Otherwise, if you concentrate on one and forget the other, then you will have a problem. So we really need the two. But apparently, all Ugandans are thinking of how can we earn.
Yes.
And we have seen that the easiest way to make money is having that hands-on skills because it's easier to sell it and so earn something. But ultimately, as a country, as a society, we need all these people together so that we merge all these skills. And at the end of the day, that's what we call development. But otherwise, having one-sided group of experts in a community and forget the other, it also creates challenge and imbalance in the future.
So ideally, why don't we, when you raise up your child, when he's still young, you see the talent he's having or which field is he supposed to go in, and you decide this is a good footballer. From the start, you take him to school of, for example, an academy of football. He goes to school, learn some formal education, get some language, then goes with that talent, like how we see in some European countries.
Of course, you see now, development is a process and it does not come in a single day.
Yes.
We have the facilities, we have the talent, fine.
Yes.
But we don't have the facilities.
Yes.
Now, and some of these things that we really look at and get interested, they are really indeed very expensive. Because, for example, standard football pitch that has all these amenities, I know it is billions and billions of money. So we may not be in position to put them as far as our country is concerned. Secondly, there are a few facilities we have. You can look at Nambole, you can look at all these other football pitches and facilities that have been put up. The money that comes from there is not enough even to maintain it. What does that mean? That for a stadium to be built in, for example, a town like Uganda, you need to have a capacity of around 5,000 people to come and watch a particular match. And so these 5,000 people, everybody should be having capacity at least to pay 100,000 Ugandan money I'm talking.
Yes.
Which would be a problem if you raise up such a facility and you want that payment. It is impossible. People around me, you may not get around 5,000 people. But gradually, if we move together, people have had an earning, and the society has also moved. We shall be good to go. Nevertheless, we can also prepare our children in this way because what I know, where talent meets training and facilities, excellence is always a must. For example, if you get this young girl or boy and you mentor him in music because it is what he's interested in and the facilities are there, the trainers are very good, you are very sure that this one will excel.
Yes.
But if you mentor somebody into an area where he or she has no interest, chances of excelling are very low because that inner talent is lacking. Secondly, where there is no talent, there is no passion. Where there is no passion, somebody will never excel and be there. He can't persevere. In terms of difficulties, somebody cannot move on. If you look at things like football and music, to reach at a level of being called a star, you go through a lot. And for somebody who is not talented, who has no passion, an injury can make somebody feel I will never go for music.
Yes.
A show of a musician being called and you go and it rains on you and there is no payment, such a child will never go back again. But if he has passion or she has passion, she will persist and consequently with persistent excellence is a must.
Yes. You've talked that thing of a starship. To become a star is very difficult. And my idea was about that. What if we raise these people from the start? Because to become a star, you need like to build it like for 5 years. Yes, you build it like for 5 years or 6 years, and you started at 20, and you become a star at like 26 when you have already grown. And my thing was about that. When you start from the start when you are young, you become a star when you are still what? Young. And you just continue with your what? With your starship.
Which is of course very true. But you see, in a society whereby we are still regarded as a third world country, those are the challenges. The facilities are not there to make you grow as you are. Many parents are looking at how can I support my child to survive, to earn. That's majorly the way we are doing, which is not right. Because partly, whereas there is survival of how can I earn, there is also need to have skills. There is also need to identify talent and groom and mentor that talent. And it is better, like I've told, for children who have had a capacity of growing their talent, of men having their talents mentored, it becomes very easy for them to succeed in that particular. It becomes very easy. So I really urge parents, if you have a child who is, say, interested in music, who is, say, interested in football, who is, say, interested in racing, athletics, support them, because ideally he may be successful in that line, but also because of the experience that people have seen from around, that so-and-so was a very good footballer, but where did he end? Such a disappointment. Yes. So we need to have these sponsors and well-wishers to make parents get a feel to motivate the children over some of these talents that children are born with.
So how can the government and the private sector create more opportunities for skills training or practical training?
One, it is the government has capacity to put that enabling environment.
Yes.
For example,
because we have seen that this formal sector is so competitive. Very many people are yearning for those jobs, and if someone is in the office, no one will remove him or her in that office. So how can the government and the private sector help this generation for practical work?
Thank you so much. Now, the government has some of these programs, but unfortunately we have not either embraced them or understood how they operate. For example, all of us know what they are called regional industrial hubs. These industrial hubs you find gazetted big place, they are doing carpentry, they are doing shoemaking, they are doing all those things. Now, the advantage that the government can do is one, publicizing this stuff so that children know that in this place where I'm living, if I want, for example, to learn how to make shoes, yes, I can go here. If I want, for example, how to be a good mechanic, yes, I can be there. If I want to do metal fabrication, I can go there. And that helps, of course, if you have so many of them learning whatever they have learned, some will go and put their skill in. In one of the jobs I've ever done, I was in charge of supporting youth, skilling. But what I have learned out of experience is that children, or not necessarily children, young people, some of them just need like a switch. You switch them on like this, and all of a sudden somebody takes off. So they don't need a lot of resources. All he needs is just come here. Shall be training you how to be a good motorcycle mechanic. Yes. Just 6 months and the boy is done. He's a very good mechanic. So what I can add is that for the private sector, if you are providing such a service, government should give you some of these amenities, like support you with training material, support you with these gadgets that you want to use for children to learn on. And for the industrial hubs that have been set up in particular places, there should be some services to help these children to learn, because some of them come from families that lack a lot of stuff. So even transport from, say, where he moves to a training center is a problem. Even when it is being full time, has no food. 17, 12 years, you can't learn and concentrate when you're hungry. So government can have a way of supporting these young people by extending these industrial hubs. Also, private sector, there are some people who have their own workshops. Yes. Some people have their own garages. You can bring children, and so you pay this one, they learn on skill. We call it apprenticeship. So it is also important so that these children learn skills. Instead of being wasted in a community and they become useless, they would rather come at such a place and learn from there. It is important.
So, can vocational training be as valuable as a university degree?
One, the two need to move together. The two need to move together in the sense that For any society, like I said in the beginning, you can't move by one sector.
Because find these days, as we started, I told you, we find a degree holder working for a vocational skill
Owner.
private owner. Yes.
Oh yeah, I get it, but you see, you realize we all learn from our elders.
Yes.
That is as simple as that. That's a skill in life. For example, you look at somebody who is now making, for example, these motorcycles but don't use fuel.
Yes.
It must be a learning from the other one who be the one that was using fuel. So skills you copy from the other one, you develop it, you enhance it, you make it better. So it is okay. These people have these businesses, these people have this money, these people own these garages, these workshops, these who have got opportunity that they have the money, but they don't have the skill. And for this young girl or boy who has just finished the degree and is 24, working here for 5 years makes him learn the skills, and so for him as a graduate, he can make it better, he can improve it. How? It's a business that has been run. For him, you can improve it by marketing it online.
Yes.
It's a business that has been working. For him, you can improve it by making documentation. For example, it's like last year, we did not make sales of this much because we
So you mean
didn't have
add
this.
value on that
Exactly.
already made
Value addition. Existing activities.
So this vocational institute will be a former sector can help add value on your existing
Exactly that.
work.
It can add value and it can improve it because this is a brain, somebody who has gone through all this communication. And so forth. Knowledge development and knowledge acquisition is based on research. You can't say this one works without knowing why it was not working well. So this graduate who has joined the business of somebody who stopped at P4, we will help him to document. Last year we did not make sales, or we made sales, but during the month of June, September, there is no business. Why? It's a season when people have gone in their homes, they are not here because of harvesting or something like that. So it makes you know that this season works better, this one does not work better, based on evidence, because records have been kept, record keeping, which may not be possible with this other person. Second, he has also technology in the sense that instead of having challenges of things and all that, you tell you, let's have a software of cameras. What cameras is monitoring. If the cameras are there, you will see that what time are our people more active. And so you base on that and you can move on. You can even monitor your business.
Yes.
So it is in Movende, you have traveled to Kampala, you have traveled to Mbarara, but you are still seeing on your phone. Oh, this is what is happening. So it helps you. So that is the importance of merging these two people. The one who has a formal education and this one who has the capacity in terms of resources but lacks the formal education. So this one merged together, it makes our society better.
Yes. So what advice would you give to the young people who have completed school but are unemployed?
Of course, one, when you have just finished school and you need a job, it is common knowledge. Everybody has always said that when you have finished school and you have no job, begin with whatever is available. That is one. But also, there are so many businesses that you can begin with 100,000, and which I'm very sure if you are a degree holder, 100,000 is simple money for you to save. I remember a friend of mine who used to hawk small things, picket. For him, he would get his pickets from Kampala, reach him in Fort Portal, and when they have reached the pickets, we put them in a laptop bag.
Yes.
And go to these shops, tell them I'm selling them at the wholesale price. From morning up to midday, the girl will be done. And in that, every day she was very sure of making 10,000 profit.
Yes.
Such a fellow who has 10,000 profit and she has just graduated, she is capable of buying her own data, moving or getting transport to reach wherever she wants to go, and that's very better. So I'm saying you begin with what is available. You can do poultry by bringing one chicken at home. You may say that we don't have space at home, but you can also buy these pineapples, reach at home, cut them into pieces, use your own family free, And so in the afternoon, we have hawkers who will go and distributing and hawking them around. There are different ways of how we can make money. So just use what is available. Whatever is available within reach, do that.
Okay, thank you for watching Baseline TV Uganda. This is Mindset Talk Show, where your ideas inspire change and conversations shape the future. We shall continue bringing you useful conversations, get some ideas from different people, like this one on our guest on Baseline TV Uganda. Continue subscribing on our channel Baseline TV Uganda. Go on our TikTok, like, comment, share. Also subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching Baseline TV Uganda. I'm Lighton Said that.